My opinion, if I fight Alex Pereira, that's going to be one of the toughest fights in my career. And I'll be treating it that way, do you know what I mean? I think he's really, really one of the most dangerous guys on the UFC roster.
We don't see that many heavyweights who can move the way Gon can. You know, laterally, he's a real heavyweight. He's not a big guy fighting at heavyweight. He's a legit heavyweight, lean, muscled up, great athlete, and knows how to kickbox. So that's another question we got to see. How does Tom perform under that with that in front of him?
Don't worry about power, worry about speed. So he's got himself super slim and in shape and even faster because the speed will, you know.
He looks unbelievably fast. I'm telling you, I was watching clips from him in training camp. It's scary, dude. It's scary.
Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane.
Easy. Everybody knows easy money.
Let me ask you an honest question about this fight. Does Tom Aspinall have a chip on his shoulder to try to finish this fight faster than John Jones?
He has to.
Dude, that's like 2 minutes.
He's so bad that, bro, if think about if you freaking Tom Aspinall, you're the champion. Wow.
Yeah.
I think Aspinall gonna knock him out in the first
round knockout?
I hope so.
Devastating, right?
First round knockout.
Tom Aspinall is all set to defend his heavyweight belt for the first time at UFC 321 against Cyril Gane, and the fans can't wait to finally witness a true heavyweight clash.
If I want, I can go also really fast at the very first round, and maybe to go on the deep water with Tom Aspinall, you see.
Everybody who said the word deep waters gets knocked out in the first minute. Go back and check the media that you've done. So, pretty happy with that. That's good.
However, there is also a huge buzz in the MMA community about Alex Pereira's potential move to the heavyweight division. Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall remained unfazed when asked about a potential fight with Alex Pereira. He said it would appeal to him like any other matchup and that he'd accept it if the UFC offered it. Staying calm and composed, Aspinall emphasized that he's ready to face whoever the promotion puts in front of him.
Now, there is one guy outside of heavyweight that gets a lot of publicity, a lot of talk. He's accomplished a lot. Alex Pereira, he's back on top at light heavyweight. How much does, the prospect of facing him over, say, a rematch with one of those other contenders that the UFC could just line up for you, how much does that appeal to you?
It appeals to me like any other fight, to be honest. It's not something that I actively think about. If it's offered to me, I'll take it, and if it's not, I won't. Simple as that.
However, Aspinall doesn't underestimate Alex Pereira and admits how dangerous the light heavyweight champion can be. Tom Aspinall acknowledged that facing Alex Pereira would be a serious test. He explained that a fight with Pereira would likely rank among the toughest of his career because of how dangerous and skilled the Brazilian has become. Tom Aspinall highlighted Pereira's world-class striking and noticeable growth in his grappling game, saying he has a lot of respect for what Pereira has achieved.
I am not fussy who I fight, do you know what I mean? If they tell me that I've got to fight him, I'm obviously going to fight him. My opinion, if I fight Alex Pereira, that's going to be one of the toughest fights in my career. And I'll be treating it that way, do you know what I mean? I think he's really, really one of the most dangerous guys on the UFC roster. The guy's elite striker, absolutely elite, and his grappling's improving as well. And the guys, I can't say enough good things about Alex Pereira. Yeah, he's amazing.
On the other hand, Cyril Gane praised Alex Pereira's plan to move to heavyweight, calling it a beautiful idea. He described Pereira as a brilliant fighter who could successfully make the move and remain dangerous. Gane compared it to when John Jones transitioned to the heavyweight division, saying it's a similar kind of challenge and excitement.
Oh yeah, Alex Pereira. Yes, of course. This is a beautiful idea. Alex Pereira now is a really bankable fighter. He have a beautiful story, and he build up, so he can do it. He can do it, and he stay really dangerous. He can do it. He can do it. And yeah, really excited. Like I remember exactly the same situation with John Jones. We're talking about him to jump in the heavyweight division. We are also excited for Alex Pereira.
Cyril Gane believes Alex Pereira could beat John Jones if they ever fought at heavyweight. He said anything is possible in a fight, calling it a true Warriors matchup. Gane also confirmed he would be interested in facing Pereira himself in the future.
Alex Pereira fights John Jones. Yeah, do you think he has a chance of beating John Jones?
Yes, of course. This is a fight, warrior, and everything is possible in a fight. So yeah, 100%.
And you were just saying that you would be interested in Alex Pereira. Is that what you were going to say?
Yes, exactly, of course.
Cyril Gane also admits Alex Pereira would be a serious threat if he moved up to heavyweight. He praises Pereira as a powerful striker with strong kickboxing roots and notes that his size and weight have continued to increase, making the transition more natural. Gane adds that Pereira has improved a lot and says it would be crazy to face him in the heavyweight division someday.
There is a lot of talk in the division about light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira moving up one day, seeking a third division championship. Do you believe Poatan will be a threat to the title if he chooses to move up?
You're going to be what?
Est-ce que tu penses que Poatan serait une menace pour la division?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Of course, he's a really huge striker. He's from kickboxing, and I know he can do very well. I saw he improve. I don't know how he said that. Not improve, but his weight is more and more bigger. Like, so, I think it's legit to go also on the heavyweight division. So yeah, it will be really crazy if I win this fight to fighting against.
Very interesting.
On the other hand, Tom Aspinall's father revealed that he would prefer his son to move into boxing once his current UFC deal ends. He explained that boxing offers far more financial rewards, noting that Tom still has 3 fights remaining on his contract and that he doesn't want him to extend it with the UFC.
You said that you wanted a boxing champion.
Yeah, for sure.
You're okay with an MMA champion, but you wanted a boxing champion.
Boxing for sure. The money is more money.
Yeah.
More money. Why not?
Would that be an outcome for him? No.
There's 3 more fights on the contract now.
Okay. So
and I don't want to sign a new contract.
Okay.
Personally.
So that's why, because I asked him. He always talk about Stipe Miocic that had 3 defenses. Would he have 4? But he said no. It's not in my mind.
Yeah. No. Only one fight. We only ever think one fight. Cyril, win, lose, next fight.
I'm excited to say Andy told me Tom will be a boxing champion by 2028.
Andy Aspinall believes Tom should eventually try his hand at boxing. Andy pointed out that top-tier boxers earn far more than UFC fighters and said Tom has the skill to make a smooth transition. According to Andy, Tom performs impressively in sparring sessions with high-level boxers, showing he could hold his own in the ring.
Now, something you're pushing him towards now is a potential boxing super fight. You've said that you want to see him go into boxing and earn a big payday. How has Tom received that? Does Tom want to go into the boxing world and maybe fight a Tyson Fury, maybe fight a Deontay Wilder?
I don't know if he does, but I think if you get into that top percentage of the sport, the UFC do not pay anywhere near as much as the boxing does. And I know from being around Tom every day that when he spars good boxers, he spars good.
He's sharp, he's explosive.
Andy Aspinall said Tom performs even better when it is a real fighting setting, whether in the cage or the ring, compared to regular sparring sessions. When asked about the possibility of a major crossover boxing event under Dana White's new Zuffa boxing banner, Andy said it is not up to him. Still, he believes Tom has the talent to compete at that level. He explained that he has seen Tom hold his own against top-tier boxers, proving he has the skills to succeed in a high-profile boxing match if the opportunity comes.
And when he goes in a ring or a cage, he spars much better than when he's sparring to learn.
Okay.
So I think he'd do really well against a real high-class boxer.
Now, with Zuffa boxing now under Dana White's leadership,
yes.
Do you think there could be an eventual crossover where you get a massive super fight that could be on a Netflix, that could be under still the UFC umbrella, but it's a boxing super fight? Do you think that could be in the future?
It doesn't depend on me, that depends on Dana White, but I think Tom has the ability, because I've seen him box at the highest level against some real good guys, that he could be at that level.
Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall predicted that his upcoming fight with Cyril Gane might be more tactical than explosive. He said that while fans are used to seeing him score fast knockouts, this time he expects a competitive bout that could end in a close split decision win decided by precise striking and smart jabs.
Aspinall versus Cyril Gane for the heavyweight champion. How do you see the fight playing out?
I'm going to mix it up this time. I think, I've got everyone's seen me do the quick knockouts and stuff, but I think I might win this one on a close split decision.
Yeah.
Jab off.
You have 26 minutes of total time in your UFC career. Yeah. That's a crazy set. Do you ever just want to stay in there and show off a little bit, show your skills, or you're happy just getting in there and getting it done quick?
I might show off on this one.
Chael Sonnen warned that fans might be misjudging the matchup between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane. He said people were either overestimating Tom or underestimating Ciryl, and that could be dangerous once the fight gets tough. Sonnen explained that when a fighter starts to tire and realizes the bout is much harder than everyone predicted, it becomes a serious mental battle. He added that many were treating Tom like an unstoppable force, forgetting that Ciryl Gane is a proven top contender.
Overestimating Tom or we're underestimating Ciryl, and there is nothing more difficult when you're in a cage fight and you start breathing hard than finding yourself in a situation that is more difficult than everybody around you thought it was going to be, than everybody around you told you it was going to be. It is problematic to find yourself in a fourth round when everybody around you told you you're going to get him out of here in the first. So, we have to choose. There's no middle ground. We're either overestimating Tom, who, by the way, might get him out of there in the first, but acting like Tom is going to come in, he's roll him, he's going to put him on his finger, he's going to spin him around like a ball, like this make-believe Superman figure. Or are we forgetting that Ciryl is a legitimate #1 contender, a former interim champion, and fought for not one but 2 undisputed titles?
Chael Sonnen believes all the pressure is on Tom Aspinall heading into the Ciryl Gane fight. He explains that Tom not only needs to beat Gane, but must do it as impressively as Jon Jones did. Sonnen adds that if Gane wins the title, it won't make him the biggest name in the division, but instead it will make Jon Jones the true standout heavyweight.
Tom's not only got to handle Ciryl, he's got to handle Ciryl in like or better fashion than Jon Jones handled Ciryl. If Ciryl comes out of this match with the World Championship, Ciryl does not become the greatest heavyweight phenomenon out there. Jon Jones does. The biggest winner of this fight, there is a potential that it is Jon Jones. It's just the pressure of having this common opponent. Now, I share with you, like, Jon didn't have to fight Ciryl, but officially that stat exists. Ciryl, whatever happened that night from a competitive standpoint, but stayed in the locker room. So Ciryl Gane, the fighter, the champion, the kickboxer, the #1 contender, did not ever get into the ring that night. But either way, right, that's all part of the game.
Paul Felder shares his thoughts on the Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane fight, saying he believes Gane is the more polished kickboxer with smoother movement. However, he points out that Aspinall's speed and power in boxing make him dangerous. Felder recalls watching Tom's pad work on the UFC Countdown, saying it was incredible to see how fast and sharp he looked, comparing his movement to that of a welterweight.
How do you see this fight?
Man, you know, I actually talked about this fight quite a bit to just people this weekend, and I agree with you on all that. I think Ciryl is the better kickboxer overall. I think he can move maybe even more fluid. But Tom's speed with his boxing and the power that he possesses. I was watching some of the countdown on the flight home on YouTube, just killing time. They're showing some of his pad work. Holy shit, man. When he's ripping combos on the pads, Tom is unreal. It's like watching a welterweight crack pads, the way he moves.
Yeah. Paul Felder thinks the fight could be very interesting if Ciryl Gane manages to keep it standing for long stretches. He still leans toward Tom Aspinall to get the win, but admits there's a scenario where Gane could take over if the fight goes deep. Felder points out that Aspinall has never been tested beyond the second round, so how he performs in the later stages remains uncertain.
I do think this fight could be real interesting if Ciryl Gane can keep this fight for extended periods of time on the feet. If I'm giving my pick, I'm still going with Tom Aspinall to get the dub, but I do think that there is a world where if they stay on the feet, Ciryl Gane, especially if it drags on and gets into deeper water, we haven't seen that. We haven't had to see that from Aspinall. It's still relatively unknown. He hasn't had to.
He hasn't gone past the second round.
He hasn't had to, yeah.
Michael Bisping questions whether Tom Aspinall will rely on his striking again, since he's been finishing most opponents by knockout. He explains that constant knockouts can make a fighter chase that feeling, but against Ciryl Gane, wrestling might be the smarter choice. Even though Tom recently claimed he could knock out anyone over 25 minutes, Bisping believes with his dad in his corner, he'll likely take the safest route to win.
The big question is, because Tom has been, for the most part, knocking everybody out, right? When you start knocking everybody out, you're like, this is good. I like this, and then you get all the accolades, and you get the highlight reel, and you get that feedback on your fist, and you're seeing people fall, because we all want to knock people out. The easiest path to victory, of course, is to wrestle the guy, right? Even though Tom just came out a couple of days ago and said, listen, I can knock out any human being on this planet, and there's no way that over 25 minutes I don't catch him. I still think, given the fact that he said that, given the fact that he's knocked out plenty of people, he has his dad with him all the time, you're going to take the easiest path to victory.
Michael Bisping thinks Ciryl Gane can keep up with Tom Aspinall in terms of athleticism, noting that Gane moves lighter, faster, and might even be the sharper kickboxer. Still, he points out that this is an MMA fight, not a kickboxing contest. He also believes Gane has learned from his losses to Francis Ngannou and Jon Jones, and has likely made big improvements in his wrestling since then.
But he's going up against Ciryl Gane, and this is where it gets interesting, because Ciryl Gane can match him for all those athletic attributes. He is just as fast. He's probably lighter on the feet. He's probably a better kickboxer, probably a little more graceful, probably a little bit more fluent on the feet. Of course, this isn't a kickboxing fight though. It is a mixed martial arts contest, and you know damn well that Ciryl Gane knows this, and he's learned from the lessons from losing to Jon Jones. He lost to Francis Ngannou by getting out wrestled. He lost to Jon Jones by getting taken down and choked out. And don't tell me that he hasn't worked on this element of his game.
Bisping further points out that Tom Aspinall's strength at heavyweight comes from not having to cut weight, allowing him to stay powerful, fast, and technically precise. He believes Aspinall has the tools to hurt or take down Ciryl Gane and control him on the ground, though Gane could recover if he stays focused and avoids errors. Bisping also mentions that while Aspinall enjoys chasing knockouts, the smarter route to victory might be through wrestling.
And the thing is, at heavyweight as well, he's not necessarily starving himself. When a lot of fighters go down to a weight class, when I'm trying to cut down to 185, which would take a bloody lifetime at this point, but when you're trying to do that, you go into such a calorie deficit that you're losing muscle mass, okay? Tom Aspinall won't be doing that. He will be strong, he will be lean, he will be fast, he will be quick, and we know he's got the technique. Can he catch Ciryl Gane? Yes, of course he can. Can he take him down? 100%. But the big question is, if Tom catches him, if he takes him down, can Ciryl get back to his feet? There's a good possibility, right? Getting back to your feet is not that hard if you put the time and effort into it, okay? You don't play the jiu-jitsu game. You don't make mistakes. You shrimp, you push up against the fence, you do a wall walk, okay? You work on your whizzer, you get your underhooks, okay? But the question is, will Tom even try and do that? On his record, 15 wins, 12 knockouts, 3 submissions. So first and foremost, Tom likes knocking people out, but the easiest path to victory is, of course, to take him down.
Sean O'Malley predicts Tom Aspinall will handle business against Ciryl Gane, calling it an important moment for the heavyweight division. He wonders if a win could lead to big matchups with Alex Pereira or even Jon Jones. MMA Guru agrees, picking Aspinall as well, though he expects a somewhat awkward start. He explains that Gane's footwork and tricky striking can make the early exchanges messy, but eventually Tom's timing and precision will break through for the finish.
Jon Jones come back. The heavyweight division, it's not deep, but it's interesting at the top. Like we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I do think Tom's gonna get that one done.
Yeah, I got Tom as well, but I think it's going to be like a weird looking fight that we might get into like the late first round or the early second round. Because Gane's moving. He moves.
He does.
Shifty.
He is pretty
He
shifty.
moves about, little flickiness, tappy. He's not like Curtis Blades, who's a bit of a plod.
Curtis
Same
is
with
good.
Sergey Spivak. They sort of plod in. Pavlovich kind of plods forward as well.
I feel like
they're
Tom's
kind of
gonna-
ripe to be KO'd.
Yeah, and Tom's gonna stalk, dude.
Yeah, Tom's he moves almost like a lighter guy, like a little guy, but he's a big motherfucker, athletic.
Furthermore, Arnold Ellen sides with Tom Aspinall in his heavyweight clash against Ciryl Gane, admitting his support for the English fighter. He points out that Tom has barely spent any time in the octagon because he keeps finishing opponents early, either by knockout or submission. Ellen praises Aspinall's finishing ability, but notes that he sometimes rushes in with his chin up, which could be risky. He also credits Gane for improving his wrestling and filling gaps since the Jon Jones loss, but ultimately believes Aspinall has more tools and will come out on top.
Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall, heavyweight champion. Obviously I'm biased. I like the English guy. I'm going to back the English guy. Tom does some really nice things. He has like 40 minutes of fight time in the UFC or something crazy, or maybe even career. He's just knocking everyone out first round over and over and over. Knockout or submission. He's such a good finisher. Gan too, great striker, good Muay Thai. He's definitely improved since that John Jones loss. I think he's fixed some holes, learned to wrestle a little bit, brought in some good guys. But I just feel like Tom's just better, and I think he has more options. It is heavyweight MMA, and anyone could get hit and knocked out. Tom does concern me when he wades in with his chin in the air, like he seems to does do that bomb, but you know, it's worked for him recently, and he's knocking everyone out. So
Arnold Ellen thinks Tom Aspinall will trade strikes with Cyril Gane before looking for a takedown, similar to John Jones' approach. He doubts that the fight goes past the first round and doesn't expect Tom to change his aggressive style, noting how he quickly finished Sergey Pavlovich, and still, he admits Gane's power makes this matchup dangerous.
I feel like this fight, Tom's gonna have to try, well, not gonna have to, but I feel like he's gonna stand with him a little bit and then try and take him down. Most likely after seeing John Jones, you know, throw him down and guillotine him with pretty much with ease. But I don't know, like will Tom, will we see a second round? I don't know. It's hard to say. Will he take a more conservative approach to Gane, maybe respect him a bit more than other people he's fought? Maybe not. Probably just the same. I mean, he did the same to Spivak, Pavlovich. Absolutely monster, knocking everyone out, scary guy, and they got in the trenches and took him out first round. So I don't think Tom's going to do anything different. I think he's going to try and take him out first round. He could definitely get clipped. Gane is a precise striker, good.
That's it for today's video, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. So what are your thoughts about the matchup? Share your predictions in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.